In today's video, I'll share with you why starting a freight broker business or a trucking business could be the worst business for you, because that's what we're concerned about. We're not talking about anybody else. We're talking about you. I'm going to share with you why those businesses could be the worst businesses to start in 2022. One of the greatest challenges that we face as entrepreneurs is trying to figure out which business am I going to go into? Which one best aligns with my skill set? Which one best aligns with my personality? Which business is for me? I hear everybody talking about this business or that business that you can go into. You can make a lot of money doing this or that. But the question is, which one of those opportunities is the right opportunity for you? Sometimes we choose the wrong opportunity from Jump Street. We go out and we choose things that are misaligned with our skill set. And then we stay in those businesses for way too long. Once you notice something is misaligned, when you know that you are like a fish out of water when it comes to this business, it's time to make a move. It's time to do the Kwink method, Kwink, knowing what I now know. You see, I didn't know these things before I came into the business, but knowing what I now know, if I had to make this decision again, could I say unequivocally yes? If not, then it's time to cut your losses and do it again. Do something different. Don't let this experience sour your entrepreneurial experience. Don't say because I didn't make it in this one, then, hey, I'm just going to say entrepreneur is not for me. Don't do that. Because if I had done that, I would have made the biggest mistake that I could have made. Because I started out with a trucking business. And why would I start a trucking business? What would lead me in that direction? You see, because you're talking to a guy who has no real interest in trucks. Don't like driving trucks, don't have a CDL, not a mechanically inclined person, don't know the first thing about fixing a truck. So why would I decide to go into the trucking business? Very simple, because I conformed. I conformed to the thinking of the people within my circle. You see, I was in logistics. I was a contractor. And the thing that you talk about is what you're going to do when you get out of contracting. When you decide, hey, I've gone as long as I'm going to go. Now I'm going to go and do my own thing. So those of us who had this entrepreneurial mindset, that's what people lean toward. I'm going to start my own trucking business. And I conformed to that thinking because people said you can make a lot of money in the trucking business. That's not a good enough reason to come into a business just because you can make a lot of money in it. Because that doesn't mean that you can make a lot of money in it. See, because my skill set did not marry up to truck driving. That's not something that went well with my personality. That's not who I am. And that doesn't mean that it's not a great business, but it just wasn't a great business for me. And I think that's what we have to pay attention to. What is a good business for you? Just because somebody else says it's good for them doesn't mean that it's the best or the right choice for you. The trucking business was a good business, but it was not the business for me. And soon as I recognized that, I decided to put the wheels in motion to exit, to get out. I stayed in the trucking business for approximately 14 months. As soon as I saw the writing on the wall, I started planning my exit. I didn't wait. I didn't sit around and wonder, oh, who's going to say Brandon failed in this business? Or I'm so worried and concerned I'm going to be ashamed because I didn't make it in the business. No, I was looking for the exit so I could get out of that and get started on something else as quickly as possible. See, because once you recognize that this thing is not for you, to stay in it any longer is just prolonging the pain. All that's going to do is just make it a whole lot harder on you the longer you stay in it. So once you realize, hey, this is not it, hit the door. Get out of there, and get out of there like you know the house is burning down. And I know some of you will choose to stick with it. You just can't take that pain, take the embarrassment of people knowing that you failed. But this is what you have to understand. This is what you need to know will come with that decision. You see, I was paying $3,000 a month every month for maintenance. I was having to run behind a driver every other day to make sure that we have a driver for that day so that we can pay for that truck. Because if that truck is not moving, then we're not making any money to pay for the truck. So just know, if you stay in it, make sure that your heart is in it. Make sure that you are really in it for the right reasons. Don't keep paying for a business, just pulling money out of your pocket, paying for the business so that you can say you stayed in business X amount of time. Don't keep paying for a business just to avoid embarrassment. Failure is not something you should be embarrassed about. All of us will fail. The only way you don't fail is if you're not trying hard enough. If you're actually putting in effort, you're trying different things, if you're trying hard things, you will fail. So accept that as just a part of the game. To me, failure is just an opportunity to begin again. And freight brokers, I didn't forget about you. There are many of you that are in the same boat. You're paying for a business and you're not putting forth the effort, you're not putting forth the energy that it takes to win in this business. And there's a reason why you're not putting forth the effort. You know that just starting a business is not going to make you money. You know just putting things in place and paying for these things not going to make you money. You know that you have to put in the effort. You have to put in the time. There's a reason why you're not doing that though. That reason is because you're not committed. You're not all the way committed to being a freight broker because there's something that sticks out about it that is not comfortable for you. That thing for most people is freight brokering is being a salesperson all day, every day. And a lot of people get into freight brokering and realize that. I don't know why they don't understand that before they come into it. Once you realize that, hey, it's about selling and you don't like selling. You don't want to embrace selling. You don't want to say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead into this space and learn about it. Even though I might not like it, I'm going to learn it so that I can be efficient, so that I can be good at it. But if you don't have that desire, that willpower within you to want to learn it, then you're in the wrong job. You're in the wrong business and you need to get out of it as quickly as possible, because to stay in it means you're just going to keep paying for a business that you're not doing anything with. And why do that? Why just keep paying for a business? I can't understand that. People just pay for the business and they don't do anything with it. They don't make any money with it. What is the purpose of that? Just remember this. A freight broker business, a trucking business are for-profit businesses. They are not nonprofits. Their bottom line is they have to make money, they have to produce, and they have to continue to produce consistently over time. The only question is, how long will you give yourself as a business owner to make that business produce, to make that business make money? And if it does not make money during that time frame that you have decided to say, hey, this is a proper time for this business to start producing, to start making money, if it does not do that, if you as the catalyst don't produce the outcome that you want, when will you turn it off? When will you say, it's time to hit the exits? Because that's what's going to determine whether you can pivot and pivot into something else that maybe you can win in. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I certainly hope this information has been helpful. If you want to learn more about the freight broker business, I'll leave a free link in the description. It's my 5-video series titled How the Load Movement Process Works. It'll give you a chance to come into my office with me and watch over my shoulder as I move loads, talk to shippers and carriers. That way you can get a better understanding of how the business works before you come into it. And then if you want to know more about how we go out and get the shippers, how we go out and get the customers that we work with on a day in and day out basis,
please like, subscribe, and click the bell so you don't miss anything.
I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.